Hi, welcome into our YouTube channel. This is Unnecessary Roughness.
It's the college football podcast.
Of BarstoolSports.com. Like, subscribe, comment, turn on your notifications. If you're live watching this right now, like the video.
I mean, there's 500 of you watching and 12 likes. That
like
doesn't add up.
the video. And enjoy the show.
Bye.
He always wants to do it.
No, it's for that camera.
I know, but he feels left out if he doesn't
Oh,
do
yeah.
it.
I mean, you can do it. It's just like I'm doing it for the audio, whatever. It's not that. You can clap all you want. Everybody, please clap.
Why are you slow clapping right now?
All right, let's do a podcast.
Okay.
God, I love a good slow clap.
Yeah, no, it always gets the people going.
Hi, welcome to Unnecessary Roughness, Barstool's college football podcast, brought to you by the lovely and talented and delicious people at High Noon Hard Seltzer. I'm holding the black cherry. Now I've got the lime. They've got some of the best flavors in the world. They're all good, but Kayce loves the peach. She likes to take a bath in it.
Well, I haven't taken one yet.
But you'd like to.
I would like to, yes.
We still working on that?
It's been like a year.
Still working on the
Yeah.
Don't have a bathtub, don't have the requisite amount of High Noons.
I don't have a bathtub anymore, so that does present a
You
problem.
don't have a bathtub at your house?
No, I
How
have
poor are you?
I have a walk-in waterfall shower.
You're too rich.
No.
You priced yourself out of a bathtub.
I have a stall shower with the waterfall that comes down.
No, it does sound
rain.
wonderful. Does sound wonderful.
Yeah, heated floors
I
on
need
it.
a good bathtub.
Hmm?
I love a bath.
I don't really care about baths.
I love taking a bath.
It gotta be the boobs and the knee bathtub,
What?
like the big one.
What? Oh,
It's a Grey's
so you
Anatomy
get low
quote.
enough. Oh,
Don't,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
It's like that's how deep it is.
Yeah, how can you even fit in a bathtub?
Oh, I get myself in there.
He can get in.
Also, I'm rich myself. I have a big bathtub.
I didn't say I was rich.
You did. You said you had. You don't even have a bathtub or a shower. You just go to a waterfall.
No,
You
I have a
helicopter
shower.
Take you to a waterfall, and
I
that's
wish.
how you.
Oh, that
bathe.
sounds lovely.
Just a private waterfall where you can just.
No, the helicopter part. To the private waterfall, yes.
I don't know if I'd want to get in a chopper every time I got to bathe.
I could get in a chopper at any time of the day for any
You're
reason.
just a chopper gal. Huh?
I love helicopters.
How many times have you been in a helicopter above the city? Anything more than 0.5, you're rich.
Yeah, I've been. No.
Oh.
Or you know people who are rich. How about
Yeah.
that? See?
I know people who have been on helicopters above the city multiple
helicopters you
times
been
that
on above
aren't
the city?
zero. But I've known people that have that are not rich.
There's an Uber. Sometimes that.
Is it-
Uber
There
chopper.
You
is,
can Uber
yeah.
chopper?
Yeah.
You can Uber chopper from JFK to like one of the piers for like $150.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of money, but still.
I mean,
sounds good.
you're going to take an Uber to JFK. It's going to cost like $100 anyways.
It's true. All right, so we got college football.
No free ads.
The world of college football sometimes changes slowly, sometimes changes very, very quickly. And last we left, we were wondering when LSU would fire Coach Ed Orgeron. We were wondering, hey, it's going to happen soon. We think it'll happen this year. But he beat Florida. Did he work his way out of it? Did he save his job? He did not. And I got to be honest. It's not very often I can admit just raging jealousy inside me. My jealousy is going off the charts now because Ed Orgeron gets to live the best life of any human being. Here's my take. Fired college football coach is the best job in America. He is going to be paid $16 million to not work.
Yeah, unless you
To
do
not coach
unless you
football.
do something wrong, then it's not good.
Right? No. But
Yeah.
if here's a path to the best life in America.
Okay.
Okay. Rise up the coaching ranks. Get a big job. Win immediately in the big job. Get an extension. Start losing. Get your money. Get your extension. Get the buyout up. Start losing. Get bought out. Boom. $16 million to not do anything.
To literally
Never
not
has to
do
work a day
anything.
in his life.
No.
Pretty good life.
Yeah, but I mean, there has to be some sort of an ego thing there too. Like you and I aren't head football coaches, but
But Ed Orgeron's 60. Like, if he were 50, I think he would, like, take this and he'd be like, okay, I'm going to take a year off and I'll be back. At 60, I think it's time to go ahead and start riding downhill.
well, and he's also running around with
Oh yeah,
lot of ladies.
all kind of strange. Yeah,
a lot of ladies.
You know, we've had rumors of this thing before. You know, we've seen the pictures of Ed Orgeron with a blonde in bed, and we've seen all this, and
at the pool.
You know, apparently there's a lot of reports out of Baton Rouge that it was affecting his job, or things were affecting. A source familiar with the situation, Pete Thamel, it's one of those things where no one wanted to be there anymore. The players didn't want to play for him. The coaches didn't want to coach for him.
One below.
With regards, this is Matt Trent. With regards to Orgeron's personal life bleeding into his coaching life, sources tell WBRZ there were multiple practices where girlfriends, in quotation, would be in attendance at practice. I hate that he says practice.
I know
there.
what.
He could have written out practice and would interfere.
No, he didn't have enough characters.
You could have worked that one.
I feel to the degree of children of the women taking part in drills. Okay, you take out of the women there, and that's your characters. He could have written out practice.
Well, we would have been confused which children.
I don't like prax.
I don't either. I hate it, actually. But
I don't like prax.
I mean,
Where are you going with prax?
You could have definitely said, like, Orgeron's personal life was bleeding into his coaching life. You need with regards, too.
I like that he put quotations around girlfriends.
Yeah, there's two characters right there.
Yeah, no, he definitely. We could have workshopped that for sure.
And interfere has quotation marks around it. This whole tweet is interesting.
We're not even talking about the actual like substance
body,
of the
I'm
tweet.
just talking about how
We're
it's
really
built.
upset about how it's built. Yeah, no, I am for sure. I hate prax. That's actually the worst abbreviation I've ever seen.
Don't like prax.
No, I don't like that. First of all, like, were multiple girlfriends there at the same time?
That's a great question.
Were they like on different sides?
You know what I like to think?
Were...
Here's what I like to think.
What?
I like to think that multiple girlfriends showed up and they did like Oklahoma drills against each other, and that he was like the team circled around them and they were doing they were running into each other and doing the whole drills.
May the best woman win.
Yeah, and Orgeron's just getting down in the dirt, yelling at them.
To the degree of children of the women taking part in drills with the team.
That seems dangerous.
How old were these children?
That seems very, very dangerous.
Were they in pads? Were they wearing helmets?
I doubt it. It seems like
were they like toddlers running around? Were they? I need more answers. Matt Trent, we need more answers.
Also, if I'm 60, I'm a millionaire. I'd like to think I'm going to be able to get girlfriends that don't have kids running around.
Also a good point.
Yeah. I'm not taking on extra baggage.
Yeah, I mean,
hire a babysitter.
Yeah, like what? Why were these children at practice?
Ed Orgeron.
Why do the girlfriends want to be at practice?
Ed Orgeron, one of the most fascinating human beings that's ever been in college football, and now.
Well, read the next one.
His exit is as interesting as everything else he did. Let's see this whole thing right here.
Well, the Ross Dellinger one.
Orgeron on his future. I think I'll have me enough money to buy a hamburger. I think he always tries to say funny quotes.
They aren't funny.
It just doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't funny at all.
Yeah, it's like
a euphemism for something.
I think I'll have me enough money to buy a hamburger.
Does hamburger mean something here?
Pastrami
What's a
meat?
hamburger?
Oh, is that what he calls the women?
I'm saying it could mean something else.
I think he just.
Well, he's not Hugh Freeze. He's not going buying hookers.
Well,
he could. We don't know.
he could be.
What are your guys' thoughts on him actually coaching out the year?
I don't think it matters. Like.
I wouldn't want to.
It's got to be kind of humiliating.
It is weird.
I don't
think it is humiliating because I think Ed Orgeron, like, there have been people that got fired, but this seems like he's cool with it. Like, he's
but I think I would be like, all right, fine. Then I don't want to fucking coach anymore.
Do you think he understood that there was going to be the second that it came out that he was getting separated with LSU, that LSU had multiple guns pointed in different directions, different media, such as The Athletic, ready to go and say, hey, separation agreement's through. Press publish on that on that article. Yeah. Press publish on that tweet. Like, I don't know. I don't think he.
Did you think?
You think he knew that was coming? Definitely not.
Do we think he was going to coach out the season, him knowing, but not us knowing that it was it?
That the whole world knows that.
Yeah. Well,
I wouldn't want to coach. Like, I know I've told this story before, but I did Will Muschamp's last few games when he was at Florida, when he was already fired.
Right.
And it was so uncomfortable. You're like sitting in the coaching staff room and you're looking at him like,
right,
you're not this head coach, but I'm talking to you. I'm asking you who your backup quarterback is going to be against Florida State.
Yeah. Also, I mean, what's his incentive to like play players for the future? You're trusting this guy to develop guys over the last 6 weeks.
They don't want to play for you anyways.
Yeah.
Why do the players like? Why would you play?
Why would you show up?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you want to put yourself on film and whatnot, and you want to go to the NFL. Of course, yeah.
But like that, it just seems like that's like a forced divorce, but you have to stay in the house for a while.
Yeah, for the kids' sake, even though the kids in this case don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
But the one that we didn't go over, I mean, that ended up not being true.
No,
The pregnant
What
lady.
part of it?
everything was true except the woman, I guess, was not pregnant. That's breaking within the last 20 minutes. The Athletic put an editor's note in this infamous article that they wrote with LSU.
All right, well, let's say it so people that haven't read it. Orgeron pulled up to a woman at a gas station wearing exercise attire. Hey, you look like you work out, he said, according to multiple sources. We could work out together. The woman informed Orgeron she was married and pregnant, so we think pregnant should be scratched. Woman responded she was married, to which he responded, why does that matter? The woman was the wife of a high-ranking LSU official. Word of this reached the LSU Board of Supervisors, a collection of prominent Louisiana attorneys and business owners appointed by the governor who make the most important decisions at LSU. And, of course, it reached LSU Athletic Director Scott Woodward. I mean, they already knew these things were happening. None of that's new. But
I mean, also just like he's just pulling up the gas station, being like,
I mean, keep it in your pants one time, Ed.
I mean, like maybe if you want to hit on her. But
Yeah.
if anybody drops the "Hey, I'm married" thing, you just
Move on.
you keep it
Yeah.
moving, man.
Yeah. Keep it moving. Plus, you are a famous person.
Right.
Yeah.
There could be a camera on you there. You're a famous person.
And you don't know who this woman is.
And even if she's not a board member's wife, she's going to leave there and tell people, guess what happened to me at the gas station?
Yeah.
And it's going to get out.
Like the amount of ego that you have to be like, well, why does that matter? It's like, well, most people, I hope, get married because they want to be married to a specific
Right,
someone. And
yeah.
Ed Orgeron pulling up at the gas station is not going to pull them away from that. I'd like to live in a world where that's the truth.
Would be nice.
I don't know if it is.
I wonder how much married stuff he was getting at Orgeron.
Probably after 2019, a good amount, I'd say.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'd say.
Okay, so forget about Ed Orgeron. He will no longer be the coach soon. And I don't think
Would you stay in coach?
Yeah, probably.
I
mean,
wouldn't.
whatever.
I wouldn't do it.
I don't know. Anyway, we agree. I mean, this will be the last coaching job, the head coaching job he'll ever get. I don't
Yes.
think he ever coaches anywhere else. I don't think there's anybody clamoring for Ed Orgeron to come coach their team. That being said, is this now the number 1 or number 2 most attractive job on the market? USC is also available.
I think it's the number 1.
Yeah, I think it is too. Yeah, I think this is
They're going to pay the most, too, I think.
the last 3 coaches, and 2 of them have sucked. Orgeron and Les Miles have won national titles at LSU.
And
And-
Alabama in its prime.
And everyththing that makes USC attractive, like in USC's big run when Pete Carroll was there, LSU was winning national titles too. Like at USC's peak, LSU was right there with them. They won 2 national titles in 03 and 07. So that was right in USC's peak. So I think LSU not even slightly better job. I think significantly better job.
I would agree with that. And I mean, and yes, USC is a blue blood name, blah, blah, blah. But, and don't get me wrong, USC is a great job. LSU is also in the part of the country where literally people only care about college football.
I think there's two schools that have unique advantages over everybody else in that they own a talent-rich state. They have no pressure in their state. LSU is the state university of Louisiana. They don't have an in-state rival. They don't have anything taking recruits away. Every 4- and 5-star recruit in that state, and it's a great one. That's a full state.
Wants to go to LSU.
Wants to go to LSU. They get grown. I don't know if you've ever covered high school football in Louisiana. I have.
I have not.
70 to 80% of the high school teams wear purple and gold. 70 to 80% of the teams do the tiger rag. They do the LSU fight song. There's so many tigers down there. They're all trained to want to be LSU Tigers. And the other place, I think Ohio State owns their state. Ohio State doesn't have – Cincinnati is whatever right now, but that's like an aberration. Mostly, Ohio State just gets whoever they want out of Ohio. They're all trained to want to go to Ohio State, and that's why I think the LSU job, like I would say Ohio State's number 2. Alabama job's number 1. Ohio State 2. LSU's 3, 4, or 5.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely a top 5 job.
I think it's up there. I think USC is probably a top 10 job.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see where we're going to go. You know, we're going to talk about Billy Napier. There will be a week over the next few weeks where we've convinced ourselves Urban's going to do it, and then he probably ultimately won't. I think they're going to try to go get Joe Brady again. I think they're going to try to run that back.
Well, I mean, you've missed a big one that people are swirling around.
I don't think Lane would leave Ole Miss for LSU.
No.
Another one.
The other one.
Mel Tucker?
No. Keep thinking.
Where Hugh Freeze?
No.
No.
Who could it be? I know it's
got it
another.
now.
It's on the tip of my
I got
tongue.
it now. It's okay. So, you think?
People are losing their fucking minds about it right now.
I mean, Jimbo's making $90 million.
I agree. So, but I mean, even
You
like
wouldn't leave A&M to go to LSU right now, I don't think.
I don't think, but like, so Dan tweeted this yesterday. Let me go find it.
So I know what he tweeted. He tweeted basically, so Jimbo came out and said, you know, I'm here. This is my place and all that. And then he tweeted a picture of like Saban saying the same thing.
No, he tweeted a picture of Jimbo saying the same thing at Florida State.
I will say there is a difference. He was
There's
on the
a
rock.
massive
He was on
difference.
he was on the rocks
A
with
massive
Florida State at that
difference.
point. It was you could read between the lines that that was over.
I just don't know.
FSU coach Jimbo Fisher. I plan on being here for a long time.
Yeah, and he ended up leaving for A&M. That's
And
fine.
Jimbo Fisher on LSU. I plan on being here at Texas A&M and fulfilling this contract. I love everything about this place. They are similar quotes.
I just don't know if Jimbo is as sexy as LSU is going to want. I think he's a very good coach. I think they're going to take a shot. They're going to try to. They're talking to Urban now, probably.
Well, for sure.
They're trying to talk him out of Jacksonville.
Well, they said Woodward said, I don't know if it's an exact quote or it's just sources. They're gonna make Dabo say no.
Dabo, who?
Ooh.
Sweet.
Is there a second Dabo?
No. The Dabo.
Woodward said that? The AD said that?
Dabo's number one on their list.
I don't think that's a bad number one on your list.
I mean, it's a great number one, but
Right.
I never thought about it. I mean, it is appealing, and he is the second best coach in the country.
and things aren't going so well this year. Do you think LSU fans would buy into his like?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Hook, line,
yeah.
and sinker.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think any.
They'd be going to church on Sundays.
Especially
and-
after Orgeron's, trying to fuck anything that walks in Baton Rouge. They would,
Bruce Feldman, who is at The Athletic, and he wrote that book about Coach O, Meat Market, and has written a bunch of stuff. He's a respected journalist within college football. Said that's totally Woodward's MO. He's gonna make him say no about Dabo.
Well, let me tell you something. When you bring that up, would LSU buy his persona, his religious persona, everything that he sells? Everywhere in the South would buy that.
Yeah.
I don't think Dabo could go to USC and do it. I don't think he could go to maybe Ohio State and do it. But LSU, A&M, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama, Georgia would drink that stuff up like
Oklahoma.
honey. Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah. Would absolutely eat it up. And that's not neither here nor there whether I would like it or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's going to play anywhere down south.
Yeah, but LSU also is doing a bunch of shady shit behind the scenes too.
Well, let me tell you some things about Clemson, sweetheart. I guarantee you it ain't beautiful behind the scenes.
Yeah, but you can't prove it.
No. I'm just telling you.
We can prove it at LSU.
To succeed in modern college football as a head coach.
I'm not even.
We don't want to
I'm
see
not-
how the sausage is made.
Yeah,
ever.
no. I'm not even talking about like buying players and shit. I'm talking about like LSU actually like doing bad shit.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
covering up like
Right.
bad crimes and shit.
I am just. I'm struggling.
I am too.
It's warm in here.
It's warm. It's making me sleepy. This room is like a nap chamber.
It's just a dark hole.
Why would you say it like that?
No, I see what she means, but just warm and.
By the way, we're going to the Barstool College Football
yeah.
Show on the road again this weekend. We're going to Bloomington, Indiana. You ever been there?
I have not. Have you?
I've never been to Indiana at all.
We are going to. You've never been to Indianapolis?
I've never been to Indiana.
That's weird.
There hasn't been a gambling thing.
What's
there?
weird about that?
I don't know. I feel like people go to Indianapolis.
How many people go to Indianapolis?
I think I've been for volleyball.
I've never been close to Indiana, I don't think.
Yeah.
I've been there for basketball stuff.
Okay. Well, I haven't.
Okay, fine. Indiana versus Ohio State.
Yep. 4:00 on Saturday.
It says 6 here, but it's
these
really
are old
4.
graphics.
It's 4. I heard Dave move it just a second ago.
What time is the game?
7:30.
7:30. We're doing a little early.
Okay.
We're getting on home.
I like going.
Also,
14
then Friday, Kilroy is. for Pup Pup.
Kilroy's Pup Punk will be there.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
You gonna sing a song?
No, but I'll sing along with Roan.
Yeah. Ron's talented.
Ugh.
Those guys are so good.
Roan is. Are you all right?
I need some coffee.
I need some coffee too.
Let me get Malasek in here. Katie, can you get Malasek in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that.
I just need it. I can't. I'm just.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm
struggling.
having a really shitty day.
I can't get my mind to focus. We got Rolovich to talk about. We got so many college football things to talk about. I got a couple questions just off the top of my head. I didn't bring my notes in here.
I didn't either. I didn't even bring my purse.
A couple of
today.
questions going down the stretch.
I brought my keys,
Here's a question.
AirPods.
Smith.
Walker.
I love the fall.
I do.
Did you feel the weather?
Can I tell you something?
Please.
It immediately makes every single day better when I know that I'm going to be wearing a hoodie outside, and it's still not going to be enough.
I made a mistake last Saturday because I wore something else.
Yeah.
But I realized as I was walking around Knoxville, I'm not going to another show this year without wearing my Mississippi State Peter Millar quarter zip.
Yeah, you definitely should have.
I didn't wear my maroon. Ole Miss was in town. I didn't wear my maroon pullover. It's the best pullover I got. It's Peter Millar. Listen, they got like over 150 colleges. If you listen to college football and if you're listening to the show, you like college football.
If you don't, it would be weird.
They've got your college. Trust me. Peter Millar has the best quarter zips in the game, the best hoodies, the best polos, the best everything, and they've got perfect college gear.
Yeah, it's great. They have women's stuff, which it fits really nice. It's very flattering. A lot of times with companies that make golf attire,
Right.
their women's stuff is just not great.
Right.
Peter Millar, fantastic. The crew neck that I have, the A&M crew neck that
Yeah.
has the different color gray.
Oh,
with
that's
the
a good-looking
Oh,
thing.
it's so nice. It's so soft. That's the thing, too. If you're going to be walking around in clothes at tailgates, you got to be comfortable, and you got to be warm.
I was jealous of Katie last week because I actually had to do an ad for Peter Millar, so she brought me her
Oh,
North
it's
Carolina
awesome.
quarter
It's
zip.
so soft.
And by the way, Katie, how do you like the shoes?
Those are nice.
Those
Yeah,
are
right.
nice.
Carolina
Those are
blue.
nice.
Yeah.
Very
So
pretty
anyway,
color.
I held her quarter zip up with Carolina colors. I thought, I wish I was a Carolina fan. This looks so good.
That's a gorgeous piece of clothing. And the cool thing with it too is it's all officially licensed, so it's not the bootleg,
Right.
like gross logos. It's
Yeah.
like the actual good logos of your school. So if you go to petermillar.com/roughness right now, you'll get free shipping, which we love. Everyone loves free shipping, but also a complimentary gift with your order.
That's so beautiful.
So you get a
compliment and a gift.
you get a compliment, a free gift.
Here you
and
go,
free
handsome.
shipping. Wouldn't that be nice if you just like every single package you open and be like, wow, you look pretty today?
Be nice if you complimented me once in a while.
I compliment you all the time. I complimented you on the thing that I wrote you.
And
It's
your
growing the beard
beard.
back.
I do love the beard.
I'm not getting rid of it this time.
petermillar.com/roughness.
Can Caleb Williams win the Heisman?
He's starting to get odds places.
Can Caleb Williams win the Heisman?
Yes. I think it's a long shot, but yes.
The reason I thought so, but like he didn't do that well versus TCU. Like they
Yeah,
needed
he
to
did.
Pretty
be,
damn good.
Yeah, he did.
but like as a whole of the
I think he
team,
had
Wasn't it?
he had like 360 total yards and
Yeah.
5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
What was the percentage?
That
Percentage
wasn't great.
doesn't matter.
That wasn't great, but his total
He-
numbers were good.
He would have to have those insane numbers
I mean,
for the rest of the
18
season.
for 23, 78% completion,
He's
4
coming in.
touchdowns throwing, rushing. He ran for 66 yards, a touchdown, average 7.3 yards. Now, that being said, TCU's defense is disgustingly bad. So we're going to, and Texas's defense
You
is,
know my order?
Texas's
Thank you,
defense has shown us that it's not necessarily great. We're going to have to see it against them. But this week he has Kansas. And then, I mean, after that,
He does have the benefit like no one else really is wowing people.
But he let me tell you what he gets and what. First of all, the Heisman race hasn't even started to develop. It hasn't. It hasn't even taken shape yet. Who are the leaders right now? Bryce Young, because he's met expectations. Matt Corral, because his numbers have been very, very good. Then Kenneth Walker, because he's been putting up huge numbers. I think those are your three that you can talk about right now. But as we go down the stretch of the season, Oklahoma is going to have at Oklahoma State. They're going to have Iowa State at home. Their season will ride on those two games. In the Big Ten, every big game is still ahead of us. So we haven't seen players separate themselves in huge spots yet.
We're ordering your coffee right now. Sorry.
I thought that boy was getting
Well,
it.
Well, we're confirming that he knows the right orders.
Did y'all hear a word I said?
Yes.
Repeat it back.
You
to
were
me.
talking about all the Heisman Trophy contenders.
And then there's
Okay.
no outstanding person.
You were talking about Bryce Young. You were talking about Matt Corral. You were talking about Kenneth Walker. You were talking about every single person that you just said. I heard.
Okay, she did hear it.
Women can overhear things.
Yeah, you can.
multitasking.
Multitasking.
So y'all can focus on one thing and know what a man is saying.
Yep.
I can know what a man is thinking sometimes.
You don't know what a man is thinking at all times.
No, definitely not all times, or I wouldn't be in the position I'm in right
Although
now.
it's usually just all you gotta do is guess like one or two things.
It's like the little tweeting birds. just
Yeah,
like
sex or
inside.
sports.
Yeah.
Sex, sports, or food.
Or sleep, nap.
Or
You
shit.
don't
I
think
got,
about sleep though,
Or the
You don't,
I got
you
a
don't think
fart.
about nap. Ew.
huh?
Or I got a fart.
I don't really think that. It just comes out. Sex, food,
Gross.
sex, food, sports.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think about food more than I think about sex or sport. I'd go food, sports, sex.
Well, that's because you're married.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sad.
That's my priority list: food, sports, sex.
I mean, honestly, I'm not far off of that list.
Yeah, I think that's
I think that's just humanity.
Alcohol.
Oh, alcohol.
that's in
yeah.
food. I looked at a menu and it had pictures and I got excited. Just
Oh.
excited to
Alcohol?
eat. That kind of.
Oh, you know what? Here, let's do this. Friday night, we're all flying in early Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all, Indiana fans, if we've got some, tell us where to eat in Bloomington. We don't know. We haven't made a reservation.
I'm sure we
yet.
have Indiana fans.
I'm sure we do.
Yeah, we have no clue where to go in Bloomington.
We have no clue. Tell us where to eat.
Yeah.
Tell us where to eat
We'll
in
be at
Bloomington.
Kilroy's for the pop
Pop
punk,
but
but
we'll
then
have to
before
eat
then,
beforehand,
yeah.
yeah.
Let us know.
Tell us where to eat.
I want some true college town food.
By the way, I had a wrestler come in today.
I heard about this.
Who's from Long Island. But he's in the city a lot. And he said he grew up. He knows the best Mexican restaurant in Manhattan.
Where?
And I'll tell you later. But he said it's the
It's-
best Mexican restaurant in the world.
Is it Mexican or Tex-Mex?
And I haven't found a good Mexican restaurant here.
Well, there's a huge difference between Tex-Mex and Mexican.
I don't know. He just said Mexican.
Because here's the thing. At a lot of Mexican restaurants, Brandon,
Yeah.
they don't have queso. Mexican restaurants, like true authentic Mexican restaurants, do not have queso.
That's
They have
cheese.
cheese,
Mhm.
but they don't have like dipping queso.
Somebody say something about some cheese.
What? Is that a...
You're going to make a cheese run, holler at me.
What movie is that from?
That's from Scrubs, the TV show.
I've never watched that yet.
His wife speaks Spanish, and the only words he knows are yes, no, and queso.
Fair.
And he's
The important ones.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, those are the most important ones.
Somebody say
Sex.
something about some cheese.
How do you say sex in Spanish?
El sexo. Sex.
No.
Sex. How do you spell?
I think
How do you spell
fuck
sex?
is chingale.
What?
I don't know.
That's a long word for fuck.
No, maybe that's
I know
fuck
that, like,
you.
In French, if you say fuck, it's like the seal.
What's
like
seal?
English, what sounds like fuck to us is seal to them.
Seal.
In French.
Seal?
I thought
Like
so.
S-E-A-L?
Or the animal.
Like the animal.
Yeah. Something like that.
We sound like really big morons.
That's how you should go to a bar one night. Like go to a French bar and just take a picture of a seal and like hold it up to a guy.
Like that's like my way of saying DTF.
Do you get it?
You
Do
know what's?
Get it?
I'm about to say something that's going to really upset my father.
Okay.
Well, my mom too. They both paid for my education.
Let's do a round of upsetting our parents. Go.
Well, I took 14 years of Spanish.
Okay.
Cannot speak it.
My wife speaks 4 languages. My wife is a professor who teaches Spanish.
Yes.
To
You can't speak it.
She also teaches English as a second language to Hispanic people. She teaches. She speaks.
That's really cool.
She speaks.
It is really cool.
French.
You can't speak any
She
of that
speaks
shit.
Spanish. She speaks Japanese. She speaks English.
What?
I can barely speak
You have
English.
so
Yeah.
outkicked your
I
coverage. It's
can't,
painful.
and I can't understand a word she says in Spanish. We go to a Mexican restaurant. She starts talking to the people. I can't do it.
Now, I will say that when I was working in a bar with like the kitchen staff, I could understand what they were saying. I couldn't speak it back. That was my problem. It's like I
can't-
knew what they were
I can't
saying.
do anything.
Well, but,
Nah, you're pretty talented.
Thank you, Jack.
oh,
Means a
Jack,
lot.
that was sweet.
Yeah.
You can't understand it at all?
No, not even a little bit. Like I can.
Well, I guess
I
she's
can,
probably not speaking Spanish.
I can hear words when somebody says mañana. I'm like, okay, well they're making plans for tomorrow.
Yes.
I know that.
Yes.
Cocina.
Cocina?
That's where you gamble.
No, that's the chicken.
Okay.
Or the chicken, the kitchen. The kitchen.
That's cucina. That's Italian too.
Casina.
Casina we have casinas down in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a great one online, Barstool Sports
Barstool
Casino.
Sport, yeah. If you need to go
I
to a casino.
differently.
Casino.
Casina.
We actually used to have a governor in Mississippi who like put gambling in Mississippi, and he would always talk about, and we built these casinos, and it was always
And it looked like it was spelled C-O-C.
Yeah.
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 Like the Mexican casinos.
By the way,
I need to know about this restaurant, but I'm going to go ahead and say I'm already disappointed because it's not Tex-Mex.
you don't know what it is.
If somebody says I know the best Mexican restaurant in New York, it's normally authentic Mexican, which is great. Don't get me wrong. But what I need is a Tex-Mex place. And the one Tex-Mex place that I used to go to all the time in the East Village, which was also the Alabama football bar,
Right.
is gone now. And it was so good. It was
How many Alabama football bars? This is the best city for college football. Fans of everywhere.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
owned by 2
There's fans of
Longhorns.
every
Yeah.
team.
Yes.
It's the best.
It's
This
the best.
place, RIP, was owned by 2 University of Texas grads, 1 A&M grad. And the first time we ever went, it was just Texas license plates all over the walls. And by the bathroom was a picture of the Dixie Chicken, which is one of the iconic restaurants in College Station. I was like,
I thought
this
the Dixie
food's-
Chicken was in Auburn.
No.
There could be
I mean,
in
I,
College
I would
Station.
assume
There's a-
she knows.
Yeah, I mean,
What's in Auburn?
I don't.
Skyline.
No, that's Cincinnati.
No, there's some. Oh, Sky Bar. Sorry.
Is there a Dixie something? What's in
It's
Auburn?
a used term, so I'm sure there is a Dixie something in Auburn.
Do you want to go to this Mexican restaurant with me?
Today?
No.
Yeah, I
Just
can't
a day.
today.
A day.
Yes,
not
I do.
today.
Yes. Well, actually, today wouldn't be bad if you'd like to drown me in tequila.
Just relax. I'm married.
Win Dixie Wings.
I'm married.
What did he say? What does that matter?
All right. Yeah.
I was going to say who cares, but what did he say?
Is
What
it
does that
Dixie
matter?
What does that
Wings?
What?
Dixie Wings?
In Auburn? What's the most iconic restaurant in Auburn?
Remember how earlier we were ranking food, sports, sex? The food.
Yeah.
is
Well,
taking
now we
over.
just got to start. Yeah. Restaurants. Auburn.
That is so true. Like we were in the middle of talking about the Heisman, and then you mentioned food, and now here we are. Although I would like to talk about sex if you want.
I don't think I'm good. I don't think we have announced where we might be going to college football show next week.
The
Nope.
Depot?
No, we have not.
But we could be going to a certain place.
We could be. Yes.
I'm sure you can guess.
I mean, it would be.
Oh no, I'm staying so out of
Let's
it.
see. How
Yeah,
can I-
we.
There might be 300 of us there.
Oh.
Did you see?
That was good, Brandon. That was good.
It's good because it went.
in a completely
one ear and out
unrelated
the other
thing,
for
but
me.
related to 300, I'm really at war with the 300 right now.
Really?
Yeah,
What
on
300?
Twitter.
Thank you, Jake.
fan base.
You're the best, Jake.
You really have saved
By
us.
the way, I gave you my credit card, and I wanted something
Thank
for
you.
Kayce and something for me.
Yeah.
Who's that one for? You decided to buy something
yes,
for
that's
yourself?
that's called that's
Yeah.
that's a
It's a
tax.
tax.
It's a tip.
Thank you, Jake.
Thank you, Jake. Oh man, this is gonna be good.
UVA boy right there. Cheers.
Cheers.
Mine's hot as shit.
We should have let him say, Brennan, we were talking about Heisman. Brennan Armstrong for Heisman.
Yeah. Let's talk about Rolovich, and then we'll get to just a couple more questions.
Are we done with the Heisman?
I think we'll circle back. You want to keep talking about the Heisman?
No, we can go to
I
Rolovich.
just think it's like, can Caleb Williams win it? It would be unprecedented that a guy comes in this late and wins it.
But see, it's really not that late.
It's pretty late.
I mean, yes,
It's halfway through the season.
it's halfway, but
Nothing's
there's-
happened.
But there's not anybody that's leaps and bounds ahead.
Right.
That I will say that if in a normal year, like Lamar Jackson's year, it's like no chance somebody's gonna jump over him halfway through.
I don't
the
even
season.
think the top candidates have been that impressive. Like, Matt Corral's been good, but even his numbers are down.
Bryce Young obviously is up there. Kenneth Walker, fine. Like Bijan Robinson's no longer in the conversation.
I think he, as an individual, he should be, but
But the
probably
team,
not. Yeah.
right? But Desmond Ridder maybe. But like, there's nobody that's like. I think that if you were to poll people in this office or whatever that actually, not like just Heisman voters because they have their own agendas, but like, who's the unanimous Heisman Trophy winner right now? No one would agree on.
I don't even think you could get. I think if you gave 10 sports writers 10 votes, you might get 8 answers.
That might be true. So so that's why I think Caleb Williams could. And
I just have to pee really bad. I can't not pee. I know we're starting.
right
stopping.
in the middle of my sentence.
I tried to call a timeout before you
Okay,
started
go,
the sentence.
go.
In fairness, I tried to call a timeout.
Okay, go.
Full or 30? Okay.
Before. You know what that means?
Yeah, full.
Yes, a full timeout. I'm not an asshole. It's been a hell of a college football season so far.
Yes.
We've been on the road a lot.
I feel like I haven't been home at all.
We haven't been home at all. I have been drinking copious amounts of alcohol. You
Yes.
have now gotten into the coffee game, which also dehydrates you. But
Yes.
you know what? What we've also been drinking a lot of?
We get revitalized.
We get revitalized with Revitalyte.
Yes.
I will say all the live shows that we've
fridge is
gone
full,
to.
by the way.
It's so beautifully full.
Yeah.
All the colors too. It's a
Yeah.
night you
We
walk
got
in.
the strawberry.
You've got the orange,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've got the grape, and then most importantly, you've got the Barstool Black Label, which is a nice color of blue. All the live shows we've gone to, the crowds are usually pretty sauced up. I've also seen a lot of them drinking Revitalyte. The early morning shows, you see the people in there, they're drinking Revitalyte to get their day ready. We love it no matter what. You don't have to be drinking alcohol to be using Revitalyte because it helps you with getting your electrolytes back no matter what. You're working out a lot, you've been drinking too much coffee.
And for somebody like you that drinks all the time,
Yeah.
and you don't have to go to the baby aisle.
I don't. See, I've been saying this. It freaks me out. Like, I go down there. Like, if I'm with my godson or something, it's fine. But if I'm on the baby aisle, like, by myself,
Yeah.
even though no one knows I don't have children.
Your biological clock starts ticking.
No, I don't have one of those. I'm standing there and I'm like, this is weird. Like, I'm standing next to the formula, but I'm just, like, ridiculously hungover to buy this. And I will say the other stuff, which we're not going to say their name, it doesn't taste as good.
I have said this time and again, and I know this is making this ad go too long.
It's fine.
If Revitalyte did nothing good for you, if it didn't pep you up, if it didn't give you the electrolytes, if it didn't do anything, I would still drink it because the strawberry is the best tasting drink I've ever had. That's not a joke. It's not a lie. I'm not doing it for clout. I drink that strawberry just to enjoy it.
It's because it tastes really
And
good.
there's like other drinks, like your Gatorade, your Powerade, all those other drinks. Sometimes you drink them just to drink them, right?
And they're too sugary.
And they don't taste good.
No.
But that one just tastes good on its own.
Yes, it does. And my personal favorite is the orange, but the overwhelming favorite is the Black Label. We've got the Barstool logo
Fine,
on
but
it.
I love the strawberry.
That's fair. We're allowed to have differing opinions, but
Are
the
we?
people out there, they love the Black Label because
Mm-hmm.
it has the Barstool logo, which makes you very cool. As we know, you can pick up the Black Label today in store or online at the Barstool Sports Store. And if you tweet at us or tag at Drink Revitalyte in your morning after stories, they might share it. So if you have a nice morning after story, they'll share it. If you don't have a nice morning after story, just drink Revitalyte.
Please. All right, so where were we? Caleb Williams.
I was literally in the middle of saying a sentence and I said, and then you called a full timeout.
No, I did call full time out. I needed a full time out.
That's
My
fine.
bladder
That's
was
fine.
full.
Okay. My point being,
Trying to carry a company on my back.
Oh,
the
Jesus
heart and soul of this
Christ.
company.
Did you see the?
She's such a bitch.
Did you see what I did?
Her.
What I left on your desk?
I don't want to just see it. I just don't say anything else. I need I need Malasek again.
Or
What
do
do
you
you
want?
need
Do
it
you want
for?
me to go get it?
I want somebody to go to my desk and get the picture of.
Yeah,
Yeah, please go do it.
All right.
It's-
Caleb Williams.
You'll
Caleb
know what it
Williams.
is.
Caleb
You'll know
Williams.
what it is.
Caleb Williams.
Oh, yes, Caleb Williams. So I think that because there's not a true front runner right now, and if he continues to have the numbers that he does, and OU makes it to the playoff,
Right.
he could win it.
He could be in it for sure. Plus, the what he's got working for him.
Other guys have to kind of start shitting the bed. a
What
little bit,
he's
though.
got working for him is not just his performance, but the performance of his predecessor and how Oklahoma looked before he got there. And if they win every game 52-31, if they score 50 points a game and Spencer Rattler was scoring 16 points a game, and you see how much of an improvement he is, then you could take 7 games of Caleb Williams and say, this guy made the biggest impact of the season. We don't have a wire-to-wire winner this year. I don't think he will win it. In fact, I think maybe C.J. Stroud should be somebody that's mentioned more. Travion Henderson at Ohio State with the big games coming up. I believe Ohio State's got a Heisman candidate that's going to make themselves known very soon, whether it's Olave, Garrett Wilson, the quarterback, or the running back. They've got games against Penn State. They got games against Michigan. They got games against Michigan State. And they're about to, if they win all those games, somebody's going to pop and join the Heisman conversation. Now, before I go any further, so you often get pictures sent in by fans.
all the time.
And
that people want
this doesn't
autographed.
happen to me. It just happens to you.
People want them autographed.
Yeah.
I think at one point, like Hubs or Publis or somebody put it on their Instagram story that I was doing it.
Right.
And so it just became like out of control. And I was like, wait a minute, I could be making money off of doing this. But people are still sending them. I just don't send them all back.
So they send you these pictures to autograph, and then you send some back, and if you get too busy, whatever, life works. So I like pointed at it, was like, people really do that, and I get to work yesterday, and I get to my desk, and there's this picture sitting on my desk, and it is beautiful picture of Kayce Smith.
Thank you,
I
thank you.
must say,
Ombre it for
Also,
everybody.
that's Photoshop.
your eyes are popping.
Like, because
Yeah.
the background, I don't think, wasn't that taken on a green screen?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I believe I was standing beside you when this got. Wasn't this when we were
No,
doing
it's
our?
time package stuff, isn't it?
No.
No, we
This
took
was us.
it was the same. That was a few years ago, yeah.
Yeah, so there we got the picture, and Kayce has written to this was on my desk, mind you, to my number one fan. You're welcome for the podcast and getting to breathe my air. You have nice hair. Love, the heart and soul. Notice the bitch didn't even write her name. Didn't even write her name. Didn't even write Kayce Smith anywhere on there. Just literally says the heart and soul.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The heart and soul of what?
Everything?
I'm the heart and soul of this podcast.
No. You're my number one fan. Are you going to hang that up, though?
I'm gonna have it. Yeah, I don't know. I have a window by my desk. So I don't know if I can hang it on the window.
Just tape it to the window.
Oh, actually, so I had MJF here, a wrestler today, right?
Yeah. He's the one who told you about the Mexican food
No,
restaurant?
he is. El Parador. Anyway, he I told him on the show, he was making fun of me, and I said, well, I have a hot wife. And he said, oh, yeah, I bet. And so anyway, after I'm walking him around, I'm touring him, we go to my desk, and he looks at the picture and says, is that your wife?
Of me?
Yes. And I was
Did you
like,
say yes?
I was like, I just did this whole number right here. If you want to believe that, fine. I'm not standing in your way. But no, I didn't. I told him it wasn't my wife. I told him my wife's much hotter.
Well, your wife is much hotter.
Much hotter.
That is true.
Because I can't afford air conditioning.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Your wife is stunning and can speak 4 languages, which I feel makes somebody like 4 points hotter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think she'd be the one making all the money and I could stay home.
Yeah.
No, here I am.
Does she ever like yell at you in Mandarin?
No, not Chinese. She speaks Japanese.
Japanese, excuse me.
No, she doesn't.
I would, you know how often I would do that? I would say the meanest
It
shit.
just sounds so much more badass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the meanest shit to you in Japanese.
You know any other languages?
No.
I used to.
I know one from when I was a kid. We made it up. It was called gibberish.
I don't think you made that up.
No, we did. You want me to show you how to do it? I won't do it on the podcast.
I'd rather
but-
not.
Okay.
I hate new languages.
I could talk to you in it still.
I don't want you to.
Okay, I won't.
All right, so Nick Rolovich, formerly the coach at Washington State.
Yes.
He was fired. He was terminated by Washington State per university source, terminated for cause along with other unvaccinated WSU assistants. So, this man did not get vaccinated. He was told by the university, get vaccinated. He didn't. He got fired.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible? You can't talk about this issue at all without people listening and getting mad one way or the other. So I don't really give a shit about that. I hate that we live in a world. I hate we live in a world where this guy was fired for not doing something he believes in. Okay? I also hate that this leader of men didn't go get the vaccination so he could keep leading men. I really feel like this is a shitty situation where both sides dug in. And I don't want to live in a world where you are fired for not believing in a vaccine. Listen, I got the vaccine, but we don't have any nuance in this thing. We say everybody has to get the vaccine. What if you had COVID last year and you believe that your antibodies are just as healthy or just as strong as a vaccine? What if you believe that? Nobody can answer the question. They just say, nope, do it or you're fired. That's not a great way to live in a free country. That being said, they gave this guy every warning in the world. They gave him 6 months. Like, what kept him from getting it?
Well, and it's also, and again, we don't have to like get too far into it, but it's become so political where it's like you can believe something completely different politically and still A, get the vaccine or B, not get the vaccine. And it's like if you don't get the vaccine, then you must be aligned politically with everyone else who feels that way. And that's just not the case. I'm very pro-vaccine. I got the vaccine as soon as I could. I have friends who are choosing not to get it. But it's like now Nick Rolovich, like he's assumed to be some, crazy political guy.
A pariah, yeah.
But it's like, well, maybe not. Maybe that's not what's happening. I don't know. All of these stories that are coming out, it happened with Allison Williams at ESPN. Like, to me, my personal belief is like, I'm just going to get the vaccine. Like, it's just, I want to protect myself. I want to protect other people. It's easier, let's be honest, it's easier to be vaccinated, especially in New York City. Like, I can just walk into a restaurant and be like, here's my vaccine card. But everyone has their own beliefs.
I had back in the summer, I contacted, or early spring, I contacted my doctor back home and said, I'm on the fence about this. I don't know about it. And he said, you're an idiot. Go get the vaccine. That's what my doctor said from Mississippi. And I said, okay, well, I'll go get it. All right. But it's not that simple for a lot of people. Like, I don't understand. The hatred it instills in both sides just it's awful. It's the worst. We're letting like this vaccine and this virus tear us apart. Like Rolovich, I don't know. It's just a sad ass story to me.
It is.
And both sides are just scoreboard wise. Like, as soon as this guy got fired, you had one side just absolutely raining down on him like, oh, he deserved it. He did this. He did. I mean, whatever. He believes different than you.
And but like the journalists that are on the opposite side, like Clay Travis, for example, he just comes out every single day and is like, look at what Florida's doing and like making fun of New York. And it's like, why do we need to do this? Like,
and Dan Wolken was spiking the football yesterday because this guy got fired.
Yeah, it's like, why are we like tap dancing on people's like beliefs and morals? I'm just, honestly, I have a hot take.
Yeah.
I'm fucking sick of COVID.
Wow.
I
Really?
know. I'm
What is
sick of
today?
it.
October 20-something?
19th.
October
19th?
19th, 2021.
You're
Not
saying
even
that.
2020.
Yeah. You're
I'm
saying
fucking
it.
sick of it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like I know we have to, and I know it still exists, and I know people are still dying from it. But this now it's the vaccine. What's it gonna be next time? It's just like just go get the fucking vaccine.
Yeah, I don't.
Just go get it.
I mean, if I got it, you can get it. I didn't get any uglier. But if you don't want to get it, I don't care
Now,
if you get it or not.
now you're
actually.
hearing like, oh, if you get the vaccine,
care if
you're
you get
being
it.
like tracked by the
do what
government.
you want.
Like, yeah, but
I
like,
got it.
just
But do what you want.
do whatever you want. It's a free country, but like, also when we were growing up, going to school, we had to get vaccines to go to school. It's just, I don't know.
I think
whatever.
a lot of y'all are soft. Some of y'all didn't have chicken pox and it shows. Me?
I had chicken pox.
I had chicken pox.
Oh my God, my mom has like it's like the old school photos
Yeah.
like of that you had to like get.
Katie, did you have chicken pox? Was it gone by the time you came around?
No.
You didn't have chicken
You
pox?
didn't have
Okay.
it?
Yeah. Oh, you don't know. You can't tell
Oh,
me nothing.
Katie, it's
You
so
didn't have to take a
gross
bath in
looking.
oatmeal?
I've heard it.
I had to
stories,
take a
but
bath
no.
in oatmeal. I was super young.
I was in second grade. I remember.
Oh, wow.
It was during. First of all, I was the best shortstop in the league. It was during I was 8 years old. I played for the City Finance Dodgers.
Oh.
I was a shortstop, but I missed a week because I had chicken pox. And then I came back a little too soon. Pretty sure I gave the rest of the team chicken pox.
Yeah, because
But
it
they
was
needed
like
me.
super.
We
Oh,
were
the
playing the
pox
Pirates.
parties.
We were playing the Pirates.
Pox parties.
Yeah, to go ahead and get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Like, but like it's very deadly for adults, right? So it's like if a parent
I
had
don't
never
know.
had it, like the parent got to just like leave for a little bit.
I have good memories of chicken pox.
Oh my God! The only memory that I have of chickenpox is the picture that I've seen of me in a bathtub full of oatmeal as like a tiny little
I
child.
remember the smell of that shit.
Oh, I love oatmeal.
Um,
We're back to food.
you know what I used to get? I used to get something called the croup,
Ew.
which is like a whooping cough, a big cough, and I'd have to be in the hospital for
What
a couple
the
days.
fuck is that kind of? I've never heard of that.
I don't. It sounds awful.
The croup,
Yeah.
like CR.
OUPE.
Oh.
It was awful. It sounds like diarrhea, but it was a.
It kind of sounds like some sort of STD.
No,
I got the croup.
I was a little kid. I was a little baby.
Got the clap.
But I would get it once a season. I'd always have to go to the hospital and I'd have to stay in an oxygen tent.
Oh, that kind of sounds
Oh,
sick.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That sounds cool as fuck.
it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Not
It's-
for your parents, probably.
my
Yeah.
dad didn't care. He was out doing drugs. But my mom, it was awful.
Well, your mom's an angel.
Yeah. Have you texted her?
Oh yeah,
lately?
your mom. I think you know what?
What?
I think your mom might have texted me after A&M beat Alabama, and I might have forgotten to text her back.
You stupid bitch.
Well, I was doing a podcast with you.
You know she's an Alabama fan. My mom's an Alabama fan. It's a source of great shame for my
Why can't I
family
find?
because you got a bunch of dudes in there dropping dick pics.
Is there text messages, not DMs?
Thank you, Katie.
Same.
Yeah, different.
We're gonna pretend you saying there's no dicks in those texts.
There are some, but it's not as prevalent.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that I know that these in my text messages.
They've been
I know
vetted.
I know that these are welcomed dick
You've
pics.
background checked those dicks.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What are we doing? We are all over the place today.
Bret Beliema?
We're struggling.
I'm trying to find when your mom texted me. What was the date of that?
You guys played on October 9th,
Okay.
right? I think you played on October 9th. Because we just had the 16th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is fun.
I think that I might have just.
You deleted
dreamt
my
it.
mom.
No, I think I dreamt it.
You deleted my mom's text message.
I got so many text messages about that.
662 number.
Ooh.
Yeah,
It's
no.
just you can guess that, Katie. I mean,
Oh, fair. I don't know.
662.
by the way, every night on the Brandon Walker College Football Show, I have to give out the show number.
Oh, by the way, great clip yesterday
Thank
Ryan,
you very much.
with
Which
when
one?
the guy asked
Oh.
what was a better chance. Iowa going to college. That was funny. I laughed. No, it was funny.
I didn't know he was setting
I
me
know,
up.
no, but it was funny. It was funny.
When he said it,
I didn't know what to expect. Someone
Wait.
tweeted at me,
Right.
and I
Say
was
the-
like, "What is this?" And
Say
then
the full clip for people listening. or the
so
context.
a guy called in yesterday to the Brandon Walker College Football Show, and he said, "Brandon, I'm going to give you two choices. Do you think it's more likely that Iowa wins out and makes the playoff?" And I stopped him. I was like, "Whatever you say next is more likely. Whatever you say next is more likely than Iowa making the playoff." And he said, "Okay, good. Do you think it's more likely Iowa makes the playoff, or Jack Mack was involved in the insurrection on January 6th, storming the Capitol?" And I was like, "Oh shit."
Oh shit!
Well,
well,
I did. I said, I think there's a flat out 0 chance Iowa makes playoff. I think there's a very low probability Jack was at the Capitol, but I can't say it's 0.
No, he was here that day.
I'd say it's non-zero.
No, Jack, you were here that
He was
day.
I
in the
was
office?
100% here that day because
Yeah.
my father went to the hospital that day, and it was
After-
a Wednesday
after
the insurrection.
Right.
But he was there. He filled in for me. But I laughed when I heard that January. We may have even recorded a podcast on that day.
We did. 'Cause it was literally happening, and we were like watching it in between.
That's true. I remember
Yeah,
that. We had-
Jack-
So I was on the.
So
whenever
Jack has
someone
an
says
alibi.
that, I should say I had the. Yeah.
You have an alibi. We should probably talk about Bret Beliema.
this guy.
We love a lot of things.
Yes.
A lot of things.
Hate some things.
I really hate some things.
Ole
On
Miss.
that list,
Ole Miss.
Baylor.
Yeah. Texas.
I don't. Yeah. Well, what we really hate overall, though,
Yeah.
student debt.
I'd put that second behind Ole Miss, but yeah.
Student debt stinks.
I don't like student debt.
Student loans and refinancing and all the time it
All
takes.
that
like,
money,
Noah,
that wasted
it's
money.
It's just, who needs it?
I don't.
Who needs debt in their life? No one needs that stress. But our friends over at Earnest right now,
Yes, Ernest. Love 'em.
Earnest, they are helping so many people because by refinancing
Mm-hmm.
that gross student loan debt that you have,
Yeah.
you can reduce your loan terms, you can save money, which we all love to do.
But Kayce, I bet it takes forever to do it.
It only takes 2 minutes.
What?
You can check your rate risk-free in 2 minutes.
Risk-free?
Risk-free.
I'll do anything risk-free.
You can combine multiple loans into one monthly payment, so you don't have to go do a bunch of different shit. It's very fast, and you can even talk to a real-life person.
Real life.
Online. You don't have to go to a bank. You don't have to go somewhere and like sit in front of an individual and be like, hey, man, I need help. You can do it all online and go take that risk-free quiz in just 2 minutes. And here's the icing on top of the cake, Brandon.
Yes.
You get $100 cash bonus when you refinance your student loan. $100.
Not bad.
So
I like
Earnest
money.
is offering our listeners here on Unnecessary Roughness a $100 cash bonus when you refinance your student debt at earnest.com/barstool. Terms and conditions do apply.
Do it. Make it good.
Visit earnest.com/barstool for more details. Terms and conditions do apply. Earnest student loan refinancing made by Earnest Operations LLC and NLS 1204917. California financing law license number 6054788 in San Francisco, California. Visit earnest.com/licenses for full list of licenses. You are a creep.
Bret Beliema.
No, before we do,
Yeah.
I would like it on record that I do like Bret Beliema.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
I like a lot of people that say stupid shit.
Yeah, he shouldn't have said this. I will agree with that.
So he was asked about, what's going on with everything, and I don't know what the question was. Doesn't matter. But ultimately, he just started talking about the roster, and he said, the reason we're not doing well is because the players suck. That's what he said. He said, well, if you look at it, none of the players they've recruited over the last 3 years, I don't believe we have a player in the 2 deep that they've recruited here over the last 3 years that is really significantly doing anything for us in the playing department. That's a major concern. And he goes on and on and on, and he's talking about the offensive line. He's talking about none of these players are any good. Like, that may be true. In fact, that is true. It is true. Illinois doesn't have very good players. But, Brett, you took the job. You signed the contract. Those are your players. Those are the guys you got to practice with. Those are the guys you got to go in the locker room with. Those are the guys you go to war with every Saturday. And you, to excuse the fact that you're not winning and to make sure nobody blames you, made sure to point out to the media how shitty these players are. What a dumb asshole thing to do.
Yeah, no, it's not a good look because it's like, what is that going to do? Make his players feel good? Like, it's not like he's going to go in there and his players are going to be like, oh, man, coach really believes in us. Like, what he is saying may be true in his brain. It may be something that he and his coaching staff talks about. I don't know. You definitely don't say it out loud, and you for sure don't say it to the media because there's just like, what's the upside of this? There's zero upside of saying this.
No.
I'm sorry.
I mean, we are just all over the place today.
I got to do a dozen, and I had to send in our niche. Okay. You're right. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, but there's just like, I mean, like honestly, what could one positive thing be about doing
Jack,
this?
let's do a tweet. Let's do a live tweet. Let's do a live adjustment in the show. We often do hot takes.
Yeah.
Right? We often do hot takes. I want you to put out on Unnecessary Roughness right now, and they'll have about 5 minutes before we get there.
Oh, more than that.
We're taking your questions right now. Give us your hottest questions about college football to Brandon and Kayce, and they will answer it on the show right now. Can you do that?
Yes, I'm
And
going to do it right now.
We'll see what we get because we need somebody. We need these guys to focus us up a little bit. We're struggling. I got my coffee in front of me. We're all over the place. But this Bret Beliema thing is ridiculous. Listen, I don't think anybody thinks he's a terrible coach, although his Arkansas tenure might have said different. By the way, as I just ramble from topic to topic, Sam Pittman's 0-3 since.
Now, before you get to Sam Pittman.
Sam Pittman's 0-3. Sam Pittman's 0-3
Not
since
to,
he went on PMT.
Not to
and
like
just
the
victory.
boot of Bret Beliema, but he could have been just talking about the offensive line here.
Yeah.
Even
so.
But even so, if he was talking just about the offensive line, it wasn't a great look. It's also like if you're a player, you're like, what the fuck?
That's even if he was talking about just one position group, it still is like
even the other players
could be
on the
talking about
team,
your
I would be
walk-on. Yeah, you
like,
shouldn't be
I
saying
would
that.
be like,
I'd
be like, wait a second, why are you talking about my teammates like
Yeah,
that?
kind of
Right.
an asshole.
If you believe it, that's fine. But like,
Right.
do you
Right,
have
you
to
just-
say
you don't need to
that
say it
on
out loud.
WCIA?
All right, you could also
3
say,
News?
hey, by the way, Coach, you got here in March. How have you made these players better? How have you
Yeah.
made us better?
Well,
I
and
mean,
if it was to the degree that he felt like he needed to say something, you maybe say it in like a closed door meeting with the players and be like, "Hey guys, like listen, like I'm not getting the performance out of you that I need, not to just go right in front of a microphone and say they're not doing anything for us." Like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
yeah, no, it's yeah, you're right. Okay, so before we go any further, can Georgia be beaten this season?
Well, yes.
Okay, that's the question. It just came to my mind. Can Georgia be beaten this season?
I think any team can be.
Well, I think everybody else has proven yes, for sure. Georgia's the only one that has proven.
I know it was the first game of the year, but that Clemson Georgia game, like that shows that.
All right, Clemson ain't as bad as you guys think, and Clemson's defense still elite.
Yes.
Okay, fine. I'm not saying that Clemson is a complete garbage,
Yeah.
but Clemson has proven they are not what we thought Clemson was
They're
going
not
to
great,
be.
but I'm still that Clemson defense still elite. It's like still the number 12 defense in the country.
You know why I think my number one answer why Georgia can be beaten?
Why?
Because Kirby Smart's their coach.
You're saying he's some sort of restrictor on the golf cart or something?
I
What are you trying to
feel
say?
as though that, and he's a great coach,
Right.
but he has not proven that he is like, I'm going, like there's nothing that's going to rattle him.
I think this is the biggest gap he will ever have between him and Bama. I don't think Alabama's all that good. I think they're okay defensively. I think they're pretty good offensively, but I don't think they're elite at either side this year for the first time in a while, whereas Georgia's maybe historically elite defensively. Maybe historically elite. I mean, this might be one of the top. I think it's the top defense of the last 10 years. It could be in the discussion by the end for a top defense. In
I saw a
college football
great
history.
question that was directed towards us in the Instagram DMs. It's kind of a hard question because it's two different units, but what would you rather have, Georgia's defense this year or LSU's offense in 2019?
I saw that as well.
I'm sure, maybe he sent it to you as well.
I think almost assuredly right now, you have to choose the LSU offense in 19 because that proved that it can win a national
yes,
title.
I would agree with
But that LSU defense at the end of the year was elite as well.
It was better, yeah. It had stretches of not being very good in the season, and then it was really good by the time the playoff rolled around.
Speaking of the LSU offense, did you see Joe Burrow's press conference yesterday about Coach O?
No, I did not. He's a little sad
Kind
boy.
of made me sad, yeah.
Sad boy season.
Sad boy season for sure. Also, did you see it, Katie?
I just saw the quote of like, I wouldn't
This-
be here without him.
Well, he did look hot.
This
during
man
it.
looked
That's
unbelievable.
all you're talking about is how
I mean,
hot
he
was?
just said it too. Pull it up, Katie.
No, yeah, he looked
He
like a
looked-
1980s
Oh.
villain in a high school movie that just he takes everybody's girlfriend and he's
That's
all
how
Smokes
hot
a
he
lot
was.
of cigarettes. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
smokes a lot of
He
cigarettes.
gave me like he was like in the Outsiders
like
type of.
I mean, running his hands through his hair. Like,
His hair looked like it
I
just.
don't see how hot he was.
Hold on, gotta go to the beginning.
I just need to see how hot he was.
I'm showing you, but I can't. Look at that.
Ah, fuck yeah. He looks like kind of looks like a greaser, like a 50s.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Outsiders.
Yeah,
Just.
yeah. He looked hot. Looked hot. Remember when we stood beside him at Rough and Rowdy?
Oh, I remember.
He was still a college quarterback at the time, so I didn't say it. But that guy poured more liquor in his drink than I've ever seen anybody pour in a drink.
So we're sitting, and we have told the story.
Standings, yeah.
Yeah, we were standing at the table. He was at our VIP table.
Right.
Like we couldn't get Joe Burrow his own fucking VIP table. And I remember it was him, you, and then me standing
Right.
next to you. And at one point, like I turned to say something to you, and he had just opened up like a Minute Maid orange juice as like a chaser.
Right.
poured half of it into like a bucket and just lit it up with vodka.
I've never seen anything
it
like
was
it.
awesome.
He poured and poured and poured and poured. And
it was stunning. And I was sneaking photos because one of my girlfriend is like, she's like obsessed with him.
Well,
I mean
you
fine.
kind of.
Well, he was but he
Remember
was
when they had that Bengals photo last year?
sir, he was still in college at that point. That
No,
would've
he
been-
wasn't, 'cause
No,
it was a
no,
Bengals photo.
no. I'm talking about at the Super Bowl.
That-
I couldn't have been
Then,
weird.
yes.
I couldn't have been weird then. Now, had he been at that table with the Bengals,
Yeah.
game over. I would have tried everything I could have.
You and I would have switched spots?
Yes, but I was like, he's in college still. I can't be too creepy. What year was he born? Check that out. Let's see if he would be
Well,
the
he's
youngest.
23 now, so I'm going to say.
No, I think he's 20.
98?
I think he's
No, he's a little bit older because everyone says
25.
Lamar Jackson is younger than Joe Burrow.
24.
Oh.
That's a
What
thing
year
on
is he
NFL Twitter.
96.
Oh, he wouldn't even be the youngest.
Jesus Christ.
No, I don't think that. There's nothing wrong with
It would
what
be
you
for
just
me.
said.
Jesus Christ.
What?
It's a
I
reference.
have a thing. If they can remember September 11th, it's okay.
That's your thing? Wait a minute. It's fine. It's fine that you have a delineation. It's fine.
Well,
But
okay.
You use. Hey, you remember when the towers fell? Yeah.
No.
Oh, then I
Okay.
can.
So
then we can do
we
some
don't.
things.
I remember when we used to have like a radio station, a
Yeah.
serious radio station, and I had a show every day with Kevin Clancy and Jared
Yeah,
Carabas.
it was the worst.
It was not. It was fucking fantastic. That somehow we started talking about what's too young and like what the moment is, and I was like, I feel as though if you can remember September 11th or have memories of it, then you're old enough for me, not to date and marry. And at the time, there was a gentleman that was born in 1997.
Yeah.
And Kevin and Jared were staunchly on the side that he did not remember September 11th. And so I texted him live on air and I said, we're not using your name or anything. Don't worry. And he was like, I don't remember what was happening. He was like, but I remember my mom freaking out on TV and watching it and like all her friends coming over. And I was
That's
like, all
fair.
right, good enough for me.
That's fair. All right. So
What?
did you?
Well, yeah.
Okay. All right. So okay.
I mean, that was the test,
You
right?
know why we're all over the place?
Because I'm depressed.
No, because this
slate
Saturday sucks.
Oh yeah.
This Saturday sucks. Like next week is all hell breaks loose. But this Saturday kind of sucks. Now, Oklahoma State, Iowa State. Oklahoma State, number 8 in the country, finally getting their just due. They're 6.5-point dogs at Iowa State. Oregon, UCLA is not bad. LSU, Ole Miss would be, if LSU was upright and not really going through a coaching change, I think that would be different. Clemson, Pitt, Ohio State, Indiana, like USC, Notre Dame. What blows your skirt up about this slate?
I
Nothing.
like some of those games, but you're right.
Gambling wise will be fun.
I mean, yeah, but as far as marquee games, they're just they don't really.
Right.
I mean, that Oklahoma State game's great. Even the Clemson Pitt game's pretty Pitt has
this
the
is a
chance
moment for
to.
Pitt. This is a
yeah, it's a
moment for
moment.
I
And
saw-
then I
was it
mean,
their first
USC
time-
at Notre Dame is always a good game. Like in terms of just the colors,
It
the
is a great color
helmets. It's a
game.
helmet game.
I think this was I saw a stat, I think from someone from the Athletic, that said this is Pitt's first time ranked and favored since like 2005, 2009.
That
So-
would make sense.
Insane.
Yeah.
Th-
It is
There's
a
also
shit slate.
there's a sneaky game tomorrow night. I don't know
Yeah.
if you listen to this.
No, on.
Coastal Carolina at App State.
Oh, I thought you were going to say on Friday night, Middle Tennessee against UConn.
No, I was not. I was very much not. Coastal Carolina.
I really
who-
got you there. I
By
got
the
you there.
way, Coastal Carolina last year was the talk of the town and everything, and we were just. They're objectively better in every single way this year. They're undefeated, and nobody's talking
They're
about
the
them.
only team that is top 10 in total offense and defense.
They've been killing teams.
It's a great stat.
And
George,
we
you
have
know
was,
why
and they
though?
fell
You
out.
know why?
nobody's mentioning them.
No, because I think last year, especially because we couldn't travel, stadiums were empty, whatever, is that like they were that like, for lack of better terms, they were like the pop culture team. Like they
Right.
were the team we were talking about with the mullets and like the stuff that was going on in the locker room. And like now it's like, okay, yeah, they're a good team, but they didn't have like the allure around them as they did last year.
You know what's a sneaky, fascinating game?
A&M South Carolina.
No.
I have a thing. So Coastal has the number 1 scoring, number 3 rushing, 18 passing offense, 2 total offense, like 8 scoring defense, 31st rushing defense, 3 passing.
I mean, he'd
defense.
never win it, but Grayson McCall's been as good at quarterback as anybody
Well,
else.
that's the thing. They're 18th in passing offense, which is their worst stat.
So
It's just.
Their strength of schedule.
I mean, it really helps
terrible.
when you play Citadel, Kansas, UMass,
Yeah.
For sure.
Louisiana, Monroe. They're good. They're good. This is a big game for them, and then their other big game this is their biggest game for the rest of the season until the Sun Belt Championship, I assume.
All right, here's a sneaky game for noon on Saturday. Wake Forest, who's 6-0,
Army
is on the road at Army. That's
sneaky.
I mean, yeah, of course it is, because if you're rolling through your best season ever, the last thing I'd want to do is stop playing ACC teams and have to go to West Point to play Army. They got to go to West Point to play Army. They got to go play that option offense. They got to go play it on the road. And that's dangerous for Wake Forest as hell. It's just not much here, Kansas State, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Kansas.
But with bad slates comes
Cincinnati
good games.
playing potential for shit to go haywire.
Yep.
Northwestern at Michigan. Illinois at Penn State. Like, all these teams in the Big Ten that are getting ready for showdowns are playing bad teams this week.
October 30th is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, but that's October 30th.
You know what
Hopefully
else?
Sean Clifford's back.
What?
It'll be fun. If Sean Clifford's back.
Virginia Tech, Syracuse. Does the loser get fired?
Ooh.
I think Fuente's on his way out. They probably both get
I'll say
fired.
this. If Syracuse beats Virginia Tech, Fuente's gone. If Virginia Tech beats Syracuse, I think that they hold on to Dino for a little bit longer.
All right, here's one.
Because Virginia Tech should beat Syracuse.
So, and this was fair. The other day, I let Dan talk me into this, that now Wisconsin controls their destiny in the Big Ten West.
I let him talk me into it, too.
But they got to go to Purdue. Purdue's been better than Wisconsin this year. Purdue's been better than Wisconsin this year.
I completely forgot about this until just now. Jack, did you get I think it was from today. It might have been from yesterday. I don't know. It's been a rough 24 hours. The tweet about the guy that was comparing Michigan and Michigan State and was trying to dunk on me and you to prove Brandon right.
Well, yeah, and then I'm also kind of in a little bit of a spat with all of them right now.
I mean,
too.
Michigan State fans are all being stupid right now because they're all trying to dunk on the other, and neither has a real great leg to stand on.
The guy said for the dunk on me was that I think it's Michigan's year every year, and I don't think I've ever said that. I like Michigan every year. That doesn't mean I think they're going to win. In fact, I thought Jim Harbaugh was going to be fired.
I mean, October 30th will be great.
Why are they mad at you? What'd you do?
Well, I just kept calling them frauds and whatnot, and then I put some more oil on the fire and whatnot, but they were tweeting really dumb things at me, things that didn't make sense. They were citing stats that were overall stats, not per pass rush attempt stats. It's a lot right now, but it's not that big of a deal because we're gonna know on October 30th who's the better team, and that's Michigan.
Well, also
no, it's Michigan State. Michigan State's
no,
winning that game.
it's Michigan.
Michigan State's winning that game.
Michigan's going to win the game.
Ooh.
Michigan's going to win the game.
You
Michigan
guys
is going to
can't
win the
do-
game. We did this on Sunday,
Michigan
Katie.
State's going to win the game.
Michigan's going to win the game. Michigan's going to win the game. We did this whole thing on
Go
Sunday.
Sparty.
Who are you? Whose side are you on? You have to pick a side because it's a podcast off.
I haven't thought about this until.
Okay, well then really think through it.
Yeah, let me.
Because we are making shirts.
No, you're not gonna do the little finger thing at me.
Yeah, no, don't you? Ew, don't. Especially with two fingers like that. That's.
It'll be interesting to see if Michigan blows Northwestern out this weekend.
She has time to decide. Jack and I have already
She has to decide by the end of the show.
Okay,
I
fine.
look up stats. Oh.
She has to decide by the end of the show.
Jack and I are solely on one side. You're on your own island at this point. We'll see where Katie is. We're wearing shirts.
DM me if you want me to send you this picture.
No.
$50.
$50.
What were you supposed to sell our feet pics?
$100.
He said yesterday he would start my OnlyFans, and I was like, I've been telling you to start my feet OnlyFans for a long time, and you just keep sitting on your laurels or whatever it's called.
Let me take a picture of it.
No.
Well, I can't start your OnlyFans feet without.
Listen to me. First of all, you will not be taking the photos.
You may draw them?
I will be taking the photos.
All right, here.
No, I'm going to do it against the mirror. That's what they do these days.
What?
Did you know that?
Yeah, I get both angles.
You got to get both angles. I'm not a foot person. I've said this
I have
before.
no idea.
I don't think feet are sexual whatsoever. But apparently, if you put your feet up against a mirror to where they can see the soles of your feet and the tops of your feet, worth a lot of money.
I'm glad you know
for
this.
somebody who's not a foot person, you certainly know
how
to attack this.
It's because I get DMs about it because people want me to sell my feet.
Yeah.
Also, even more so, they'll pay extra if you'll paint your toes the color that they want.
That's awful. Okay. All right. You people are weird.
Huh?
I told you that people used
Feet
to...
are a bottom 5 body part, and there's no chance
I agree with that.
I agree with that. People used to... I think I've said this on the show as well. People used to send me different types of stilettos and heels when I was working in Boston because our set was like you could see the bottom of our feet. So people would, because we like sat in like lower chairs, they would send me high heels.
Yeah.
so I could wear them, and then they would want me to send them back.
What'd
So
be
they
the
could,
weirdest body part for people?
The AAC called themselves the Power Six,
Jack's
and
trying to
now they're
People on
adding
YouTube are so mad right now.
FAU. They're adding FAU. Like what?
and
Mike
no offense,
Oresco,
North
whatever
Texas,
the fuck your name is. Like
UTSA.
you're
they
a
called
joke.
themselves a Power Six when
You're
they had,
a joke.
They called themselves a Power Six.
Yeah, and we left.
when they had teams that were worth Power Sixing. Now they're just trying to put things back together. Can't blame them for fucking Cincinnati and Houston and UCF leaving.
No, I mean, it's just, why would you leave if it was so good?
Because you can go to the Big 12, make more money.
Make more money.
Okay, y'all want to get to these questions?
I remember when we left the AAC, it was such a big deal.
I put
How
something
could you
on
leave?
on Twitter that got people heated. If hypothetical, and this is the last spot in the playoffs, everyone else is settled. You have Cincinnati, who has run the table, won, with Notre Dame finishing outside the top 15.
Okay.
And Alabama, who just got their second loss to
Right.
Georgia closely. Who makes it in?
Cincinnati.
A&M.
Ridiculous.
I'm
Cincinnati.
kidding. I'm obviously kidding.
Even if Notre Dame finishes outside
I
the
don't.
top 15.
I think it also depends on where A&M.
I only two lost to Alabama. Because if Alabama has lost a second time to Georgia, what's Alabama's marquee win?
Auburn.
But Auburn's not yet. They're not.
Yeah, they could be.
But by then they might be.
They might be, but they could be worse than Notre Dame.
Florida.
Yeah. Right. Right. Without a win
Miami,
over
no.
Georgia, where's
then-
Alabama's
Well,
win?
then what's Cincinnati's win?
It'd be Notre Dame. Like,
But no-
If Notre Dame finishes outside the top 15, then she's right. Who would their
Look at what happened to
Alabama
Coastal
play?
last year.
Alabama plays a tougher conference.
two losses.
Or UCF.
Alabama's out. Two losses.
Okay.
Alabama's out.
Alabama beats Georgia,
Right.
so they have one loss.
Yeah.
Georgia has one loss.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's undefeated.
Alabama and Georgia.
Cincinnati's done.
I'd agree.
As long as like Ohio State and Oklahoma's there to take the other two
Right.
spots, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still, I didn't do it on Sunday. I'm still thinking about it though.
What?
I'm still thinking about it.
You can't.
The hypothetical
Stop it.
that was thrown out on the plane this
You guys-
weekend.
You guys aren't gonna. You're
I'm
gonna
not
lose
saying
again.
we're going to,
You're
but
gonna lose again.
look, Dave threw it out there. I'm just saying Dave
You
threw
lost
it
to
out
Arkansas,
there.
Mississippi State. You're thinking you're gonna go.
No. I'm just saying
You're not
Dave threw it out
Where you play Auburn?
at Auburn.
Not good. Not good, Bob.
I think at
By the
Auburn.
way, I was the first guy that believed in Auburn on the podcast.
I still don't.
Dave
believe in
threw
Auburn,
out a
so you can have that
hypothetical,
one.
Katie.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Yeah, I still believe
Brandon
in that.
doesn't want me to talk about it, but you weren't on the podcast on Sunday, and you
No,
weren't.
why are we talking about this? What about Mississippi State winning out then?
Well, because you guys have already lost 3 games.
Yeah, and who would your marquee win be?
Yeah.
Texas A&M. Count it.
So
Count it.
A&M,
Count the bucket.
A&M,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
can't.
count
But
that.
you can't win the
Jack, I
West.
need to write-
Alabama
I need
You
to-
would-
can't win the
Count that.
West.
Alabama would need to
You
lose
can't
again.
win the West.
You know what would be fun as fun as hell?
Time. Why in the world could you win the West and we couldn't? Think about this.
Because you've already lost 2 games. Oh. But we have the tiebreaker over Alabama. You don't. Yep.
No.
You know,
Yes.
it'd be great.
You
Yes.
thought we lost 3 SEC
No,
games.
no,
we haven't.
no, Memphis.
We've
You
the
lost
same-
Memphis.
But we have the tiebreaker over you.
Yes, but we have the tiebreaker over Alabama, and Alabama's not losing 3 games.
Yeah, would
We
it be
should
a head-
add,
We
like-
can't win the West, and
would
you
it be
can't
a
win the
head-to-head
West.
tiebreaker?
We should
It
add
would
like
be-
a score system, and I'm in control of
Like
it.
Kellerman, or
Or like a PTI, not
Yeah, yeah.
PTI,
The other
around the horn.
Yeah.
And then like it's if you have a really good take, 7 points, 3 points, and then we'll put it all
I'm
together.
going to need that by Sunday, please.
Yeah, and we'll put it up, and then I'll be in control of
Can you
it.
imagine
We need
how
to- we
how
need
many
to
points?
motion.
Actually, you know what?
We need
Katie will
demotions.
too, so it'll be both. Like,
Can you imagine
Katie,
how many points I'd be winning by right now?
No.
No.
You get some asshole demotion points.
I'd just be
For sure.
dominating.
For
Y'all would
sure.
have to like
No,
grade me on a curve.
Here's the thing. I just made a good point too, because you made that point on the plane. Is that if it came down to it and Alabama loses again, which you said that you think they could lose to Auburn, other people,
Why are you pointing at me like that?
because I'm feisty, A&M could hypothetically make it to the SEC championship. Now, where it starts to
What-
get
what are we
now
wasting time
it's-
with this
now
for?
it starts to get dicey here, because that would mean they would have to beat Georgia, right? But Dave's question was, and again, I didn't bring this up, Dave Portnoy did, so I'm just putting it out there in the ether. If A&M somehow, some way, beat Georgia and were the SEC champions, could the committee really leave them out?
no,
No.
there's no shot
have
they
to
would be
put
left
it,
out.
But I don't think they'll get to
It's
that
not
point.
gonna happen.
It's not going to
but
happen, but it is a hypothetical that is.
You want
No.
to pull up the
It's zero.
questions?
It's a chance because you're playing them. Like it's on the possibility chart.
Yeah, thank you. It's not going to happen, but
No,
very
if you
low.
beat, it's very low. But if
but it.
What was your favorite board game to play as a kid?
Ooh, I loved Life.
Did you like Life?
I liked Life a lot.
I like the spinning thing
What was that?
on Life. The spinning,
yes.
the spinning
Oh, yeah,
thing.
yeah,
look
yeah.
at this, we already have 96 questions.
I love Life. I never did get into Monopoly very much.
I was okay
Too
with
long.
Monopoly, but
You know
it
what
took
my
too
favorite
long.
game is? Categories.
Oh, I do like categories.
Yeah.
What was the one with the boys that you could like call the boys? You're probably way too young for that.
You have no.
I don't know.
I think that was just you
The
calling
Hardy
boys.
Boys.
No, it wasn't
was just
me.
you
It was a
calling
game.
boys.
It was a
No,
game.
the Hardy Boys are.
All right. So here we go. Let's and if we got 90.
Well, that has water in it.
I know. But
Imagine
I will
if it
use it.
exploded on her.
I will use it.
Can you if
Put
you
the
do-
water bottle
Can
down.
you knock me out at least?
Put the water bottle down.
Like if you're gonna do it, just
He
make
can do.
sure
He can knock you out after the
Make
podcast.
sure,
Make sure it
it
actually
hurts.
kills me.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, make sure it hurts. Yeah.
Oh, you know what I think we should do? We should get matching tattoos.
No,
No.
I'm not getting tattoos.
I'm the most anti-tattoo guy I think
Right.
you could
You're
find.
not
I'm
getting
also.
an
I'm
MGK
more
tattoo.
anti-tattoo than you are.
Okay.
I will never defile this perfect body.
Oh
God
god.
damn. Okay, let's get to the questions.
Jack, what about your body? You'll never defile it.
Yeah, and I don't like people. Well, I do like them.
You're too
Think
proud
so
of a boy to put
carefully.
tattoos
Yeah,
on.
you better say.
No,
Kayce
Proud
and I both
Boys,
have
Proud Boys,
tattoos.
and them.
You were about to say
they
you don't
have
like people
tattoos.
touching
They have
your
like
body?
they put like stuff on them
All right.
that like shows like they're proud.
Boys.
Boy, they are boys. Yeah.
Boy, are they proud.
That's why I was never accepted. They sent me home
Gino.
early for the podcast because I didn't
Honestly,
have any
Focus.
tattoos.
I'll get to the question.
The people that are watching this YouTube hate us right now.
No, they don't.
Hey, by the
It's
way,
fine.
like the video.
Like the video.
Gino Fornero, and I'm not going to ask everybody's question. Like, Paige, I love you. I'm not. I think we're going to skip the Gary Patterson question. Gino Fornero, is Oklahoma State sneaky the best team in the Big 12? Can we be a playoff team? Did my take about Gundy at the beginning of the season suck? Yes. So I assume he didn't like Gundy. Now, Oklahoma State has arrived at the most dangerous point of the season.
Mm-hmm.
They are now looking forward. They are now thinking about the playoff. They are now thinking about going undefeated. They're now thinking about that incredible bedlam if they're 11-0 and Oklahoma's 11-0. But they got to go to Iowa State this weekend. They're 6.5-point dogs.
Also, they're ranked against. They're the underdog against
This
the
is
unranked one.
not nice. That I think they probably lose to Iowa State this weekend. I don't know if they lose by 6.5, but I think this is where Oklahoma State's dream ends right now.
I mean, I'm the biggest Oklahoma State guy here, but if they get through this, then I'm like, okay, you got a legit team. But this is Iowa State sneakies really kind of figured it out, by the way.
They're not bad.
Yeah.
They lost twice.
Yeah.
And the schedule makers, by the way, did Oklahoma State no favors, giving them at Texas
know.
and at Iowa State.
And
back-to-back
before
weeks.
that, they won Kansas State Baylor.
Yeah, I mean-
like Big 12 this year. I know. I mean, it's falling apart, but it's not that bad.
Michael Salter says Brandon.
Baylor is good.
Yeah.
I said this about.
They have some players on that team.
I said this about
I think
Oklahoma.
Aranda's sneaky.
Yeah,
build
no,
or
Dave
something.
Aranda has sneaky been the guy that has not gotten enough credit for what he's done in 2 years.
I'm not going to do it. I said this about Oklahoma State on Sunday the reason I think that is not a terrible question or terrible take is because their defense is, I think, better than Oklahoma's defense.
I don't think that's a hot take at
But
all.
I know, but I'm saying like
Right.
if you look at the best team in the Big 12 right now, like Oklahoma State has the best defense in the Big 12 thus far, and if their offense can continue to figure it out, then I don't think it's crazy to say that they could beat Oklahoma at Bedlam. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but that's just because of historically, I think Mike Gundy's going to fuck
All
it
right,
up.
real quick.
Yeah.
Rapid fire. I'm piggybacking off his question.
Okay,
Who's the best team in the Big 12? Kayce.
Oklahoma,
I agree. Oklahoma. Who's the best team in the Big 10?
Michigan.
You're high. You're fucking high. You're crazy. Ohio State.
Okay,
Who's the best team in the Pac-12?
Oregon.
False.
NA.
Doesn't exist. There's not a good team.
Well, I thought we had to
they're
pick
gonna
one.
lose to-
I was going to say NA.
They're going to lose to UCLA.
Okay,
this
fine.
weekend.
There isn't one.
Who's the best team in the ACC?
NA.
NC State.
Fuck.
It's NC
They
State.
lost to you guys.
No.
They might go undefeated in the
Wait.
ACC.
No,
though.
Wait.
it's Clemson or Pitt.
Pitt.
Well, Clemson hasn't
NC
proven
State did
it.
beat Clemson. Like, I know Clemson.
I know.
We are discarding Clemson a little too much because that defense still fucks. But I think it's NC State. NC State beat Clemson. I think you
you guys are better than NC
Clemson and-
State.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Really?
Yeah.
They
don't
stayed.
think-
You
No,
see what we almost lost to Miami without De'Aaron King.
They
I
did
know.
lose to Florida State.
Well, that quarterback's
Don't
good,
say
by the
anything
way.
mean
He's
about
from
Florida
Connecticut.
State.
Why?
Florida State people are mad all the time.
What conference did I leave it? Who's the best team in the SEC?
Georgia. I mean every single week, the further we get along, we say that we have less and less to go off of who the best teams are, even though more games are being played.
Do you think it's a slam dunk?
The Pac-12.
You think it's a slam dunk that Alabama's the second best team in the SEC?
Yes.
I don't.
The Pac-12 has.
Who is?
I don't know.
Has
A&M?
one
I don't think
team.
it's I think by the end of the
There's nobody in the East.
I think by the end of the year, A&M could be the second. I don't think. I think it's incomplete. I'm not giving Alabama number 2 yet.
But right now you have to give them number 2.
Why?
Yeah, I agree.
You have to. Who else would you?
A&M.
Nobody in. Yeah, but A&M also lost to Arkansas and Mississippi State. What about Ole Miss?
What I'm about to say is crazy.
What about Ole Miss?
No.
What I'm about to say is crazy.
Is it Kentucky?
No.
No, Ole Miss.
I was going to say Kentucky.
Yeah.
Kentucky didn't get killed against
We're
Georgia. They get
really too much
embarrassed.
on the same page.
And Ole Miss is not a good team. They're a team with a great player. They're not a good team. They have a great player.
Pac-12 has one team in the top 25 according to SP Plus. That's
bad.
awful.
That's bad. Okay. Ian Bolger says, would Brandon live in Oxford, attend every Ole Miss home game for 4 years for Mississippi State National Championship? Buddy, I live in Oxford for the rest of my life if I could win a national championship. Yes, I would live there for the rest of my life. Paige Browning answers that. He would do unspeakable things for Mississippi State National Championship. Yes.
And
Yeah,
the
I
next
mean-
question is the opposite.
So we all know Brandon would do unthinkable things to see MSU win a natty. I assume Kayce would too. Would Brandon be willing to do?
What
Or
would
what
Brandon
would-
be willing to do to ensure Ole Miss never won a natty? Nothing. I don't have to do anything. They're never going to win a fucking natty. They never won a natty.
They're
What do I have
closer
to
to one
do?
than you
Would
are.
would
never
you
won one.
rather Mississippi State win one for the rest of your life?
Right.
You have to choose, or wait, hold on.
Yeah, it just isn't working.
Yes,
the way
I
I
know.
see it.
Never mind.
A guaranteed Mississippi 1 and a guaranteed Ole Miss
What? Okay.
0.
All right. Here's a good way to phrase it.
No.
Would I accept one Mississippi State title if it meant Ole Miss won 5?
Yes. I think that's where I was trying to go
Yeah,
with that.
right.
Like Mississippi State will win one,
Right.
but Mississippi State will win.
Or Ole Miss will win 5.
Or Ole Miss, I mean, yes, will win. They'll make it to the national championship at least 5 times.
I would anything to do with a national championship. I just want one.
Okay.
Anything.
Even
So
if your
what
rival
if-
wins 5.
What if Mississippi State wins one and then Ole Miss wins one every single year until you die?
I hope I die next year then. Let me die quick.
Well, the good news is you.
What? Yeah, but
I
I
can't.
mean,
say,
I
I don't
think
want to get kicked off of YouTube.
I think nature's doing
Don't
it
say
for
that,
me.
yeah.
I think.
I know, I'm not- I
mean,
didn't say it.
By the way, my prostate's been acting. It's only a matter of time.
I don't want to know about your prostate.
You texted me last night. Said, "How's your prostate
I
doing?"
did not.
Is LSU actually a better job than USC?
Yes.
Says Skip Wither. Being in the SEC West and competing against Alabama, Auburn, A&M, and Mississippi State every year is a gauntlet. Here's the thing. When people say that, history shows that you're wrong. History shows that being in the SEC West increases your chances of winning a national title. When you're good, you're elite. Like, Auburn competes in the SEC West against LSU and Alabama. They played for 2 national titles in the last 10 years. Auburn's not a great program. LSU's won 3 national titles since 2000. Alabama's won. Like, being in the SEC West enhances your chances of winning, doesn't dehance them. I know that's
Yeah,
not a word.
Enhance,
no,
I like that word.
it's people always want to run away from being in the best of the best. It's like it goes all the way down to saying, why don't you just go down to the FCS? And we
Right.
see that with we saw that with Temple, with the AAC and whatnot.
And nothing is pushing the Pac-12 right now. Like you
Yeah,
can't-
like
I don't
what-
know that you can build a national championship team
Yeah.
because you're not going to play anybody. You're not
Yeah.
going to play anything. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's a great question.
And also now in the playoff, and even if it gets to 12 teams now, you're not going to be able to like sneak your way into a national championship game because you're going to have to play some pretty tough teams along the way. Back in the day, I guess you could if everything broke right and you found yourself in the national championship game, you have a great game. Now you have to have, and with 12, you have to have at least 2 amazing games.
You got to have a resume.
You have to have a resume and amazing games as in once you're in the playoff.
Yeah.
Because you can't sneak by.
That's true. Yeah.
Because you have to win those games. You have to do it twice.
Michael Tracy says, who's the best coach that isn't talked about enough? I think Jack brought up one. I think Dave Aranda's doing wonderful things. He isn't talked about enough. Dave Doran at NC State is somebody not talked about enough.
I'm blanking on his name. Wake Forest's coach.
Dave
Dave
Clawson.
Clawson.
I mean, we talked about him a little bit and with Auburn, but Auburn's head coach
Yeah, Harsin has
Harson's been
And
doing
Heupel.
pretty well, especially for a guy that came from not the West Coast, but I guess you could say
Chief-
Idaho's
I'd
in the
say
West.
call them the West
in the
Coast.
West, and I'm just looking at great teams right now that have. Josh Heupel's done a really great job too.
By the way, did you see Josh
Jeff
Heupel?
Brom, we talked about Purdue.
Yeah.
He has reestablished himself as a guy that's
Up and coming.
and he's going to be probably thrown around a little bit in some conversations now.
What did
Josh Heupel kind of shared a cute little eye contact moment with Dan on the sidelines the other
I
day?
didn't see that.
So it was right after the touchdown that should have been a touchdown that wasn't a touchdown that everyone was pissed about,
Right.
but it was before we knew that it wasn't a touchdown. And he came over and it was patting his players on the helmet, and he turned around and him and Dan kind of had this look, and Dan was like, "Good job, coach," and he kind of nodded his head, and I was like, it was a cute
I mean,
man
Dan's
moment.
been there before. Dan's had those moments on that side.
It was a cute man moment.
I love man moments.
I love cute.
You know
man
who may
moments.
not? You know who's having a tough season that we haven't really talked about, and we love talking about them before the season, but now no one's talking about him.
Tom Allen.
Pat Fitzgerald.
No, Pat Fitzgerald is
UCF?
fine. He's proved it.
Oh, Gus
Greg
Malzahn.
Schiano.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rutgers
sure.
kind of isn't good.
we did talk about him for a while.
I think he's still new enough there. Where is this year 2 or year 3?
2.
too.
Yeah, COVID messes me up, but I think it's 2.
Yeah, it's 2.
might be
And he is recruiting well, so
he got hired before.
and
COVID,
he
right
has.
before COVID?
Yeah, his first year.
Huh. Damn, that sucks.
Yes, he did because he did.
Nick Presley says, "Who is the blue blood program currently dormant you'd most likely to see return to power?"
Michigan.
Nebraska.
They're not dormant. They're in the top 10.
Yeah, they're not dormant at all.
Oh. Dormant, not winning. Okay,
Like
Nebraska.
FSU, Nebraska.
Nebraska. I say Miami.
Miami's a good one.
Yeah, I say
Nebraska's good.
USC,
Miami-
Texas.
Miami
I was about to
brings
say,
this
can I-
swagger to
Florida
college
State,
football.
yeah.
that, like,
Miami.
you're just like-
Brings
But
an
bring back the
attitude.
visors. I can't believe I'm about to say this. This is my unbiased hat that I'm putting on. I mean, Texas would be good for college football. Not good for me, but good for college football. What are you looking at?
Nothing.
Did you get some? You get a sext or something?
No.
What'd you get?
I asked a person who would know. Who's LSU aiming for?
Let me see.
We're not going to say it.
I'm not gonna
Oh,
say it.
come on.
I can't. Then no.
You'll show me after the show,
I'll show you.
Yeah.
I can't. It's
You
not in
can't.
the stages. This is just in the vetting
It's-
stages.
and it's gonna be shocking.
Also, when Brandon read this, his eyebrows and eyes popped.
You know what I think it could be? You know what I think the greatest thing would be? That could college football, that would be crazy.
Wow, I didn't
And
know about that.
it would be Brian Kelly going to LSU and then Urban Meyer going to Notre Dame. That would be the crazy.
That
That
would be-
fit though. At least
What?
Urban to Notre Dame.
I do like the
Well, yeah,
idea of
that's
maybe
that's the job Urban's always wanted.
like musical chairs.
Yeah.
Like if they get a guy that's sitting at a big time
and then
job,
it's a musical chairs.
yeah, like not using this guy for an example or anything, but let's say James Franklin will go to USC.
Yeah.
And Dan Mullen goes to Penn State, and then Florida opens it. Like it's just a circle of these elite.
Here's
programs.
a good question, and they've thrown their names around a little bit.
I heard it.
Lane Kiffin to LSU. Would you want to go to LSU while you're at Ole Miss because you're still in the West?
Oh yeah, because it's a much better program, and you don't have to
You'll
deal
get
with
paid
assholes.
more, too.
But here's the thing, if you remember Dan Patrick's report a couple weeks. Stop scrolling, Katie. I want to go back and get a couple of those. Thank you very much.
I
Though.
think they were good. Okay.
I want to just read them.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
You were talking about Dan Patrick.
ADD.
Dan Patrick said a couple of weeks ago that LSU is going to move on because they got to hire somebody to get into the Arch Manning sweepstakes. Right now, we think the Arch Manning sweepstakes are Texas, who leads, Alabama, Clemson, and maybe Georgia on the outside.
That's
That's
Ole Miss. They're out.
right. Ole Miss is not in the conversation right now.
Got it.
So, extrapolating from that, if Ole Miss, who he's grown up rooting for, is not in the conversation under Lane Kiffin, would hiring Lane Kiffin to LSU improve their standing? That's my question.
Are they going to
Wait,
hire
you think
head
Ole Miss
coach
is
over
not?
one recruit though?
Do you think
Based on what Patrick has said,
Okay.
he said the three that stand out are Alabama,
Texas,
Clemson, and Texas has the lead.
and he does like Clemson,
Right.
and he went to Texas this past week, and I guess it went well, even though they
Yeah.
lost.
And Sark was at his game.
Yeah.
All the signs say that
God, I
Texas
hope that
is in
doesn't
good
fucking
shape.
Why
happen.
does he want to go to Texas? That's weird.
Sark, I think. Sark.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I would
Yeah, you
love
do.
that.
It would be amazing.
You're such a pussy.
You would hate it if he went to Ole Miss.
No,
Fuck
you would. But he would love it.
The
Are you
fact that
kidding?
you're scared to have him at your rival is
He would hate
embarrassing.
that.
No, he
That's
would
awful.
love it.
Why?
It would boost his brand so much.
I would-
He would kill.
I would be the number one
He-
hater in
yes,
America.
He would embrace it
I
so
see
much.
What you mean.
I'd be the number one hater in America.
So I would be able to be.
Yes, that's
I
why I said
troll.
on the
Well, I do
podcast
like-
I can help you
on
be a hater.
Sunday.
Well, I am a hater, and I do love to troll.
You got hate in your heart. Let it out, girl.
I have so much hate today, specifically.
Let's see.
A lot of hate.
Jordy Marvin, that's too long. How will the first playoff rankings look? Don't know. We'll
Don't
figure
care.
that out.
That's coming
Soon,
up quick
yeah.
though. You know what next week is?
What? October
Maction?
30th. What? Halloween? It's not your birthday. It's your birthday?
Next week.
Oh.
I don't care about it. So
36, huh?
Yeah. 46.
46.
56.
You going to get another surgery, get everything lifted up again?
Ew.
What? I said lifted. Just
You're supposed to do it every 10 years,
Yeah,
I
just
heard.
tighten everything up.
Right?
Every 10 years you're supposed to
How
get.
many surgeries have you missed then?
Oh, damn. Hell yeah, Katie.
Bro.
Uncalled for.
Fucking uncalled
He
for.
did shots. and
Scroll
he put
down.
it Back. I thought you want me to scroll back up. The ones I
Massive
missed.
L.
Please scroll down.
What time is it?
5:27. We're getting out of here.
Well, I know you get antsy when it's for
I
the
am
Brandon
antsy.
Walker
I'm
college
antsy.
football
Shut-
show with Brandon
I'm
Walker.
just-
Ty Thompson, by the way. Here's
I don't know.
Barstool Ducks. With Oregon's remaining schedule, if we win out, do you think we have a shot at the playoffs?
No.
Also,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, they do.
yeah, they do, for sure.
'Cause they're only
Also,
lost-
I don't,
Anthony
sorry, I don't
Brown.
think they're going to win out.
If
Okay.
they went out, they're absolutely in the playoff. They don't have a shot. They're in the playoff.
I think, yeah, for sure.
I don't
Especially
think
if,
they're gonna win out.
They have a win over Ohio State.
yeah, especially if Ohio State wins out
Sorry,
and
I-
then
I
Oregon
heard-
wins
I
out.
don't think they're going to win out.
Okay.
Okay,
all right,
so
all right.
then
I mean, we are.
can I get to my point?
Please.
Yeah. Also, Anthony
Just let him
Brown
get to his fucking
or
point.
Ty
Would you stop
Thompson.
and let him get to his point?
Ty
Jesus
Thompson.
The
Christ.
man's trying to make a point, and
Ty-
you won't let him make a point.
Ty
Brandon.
Thompson is the back quarterback for Oregon right now. He's also dating somebody on the UConn women's basketball team.
Son of a
Okay.
bitch.
I mean,
That's
that
the
was the
fucking
point.
point.
That
That's
was
the
the
fucking
point.
point you had
Yes.
to make.
Yes.
You were right. You
Yes.
should have stopped that point. That's a
What
bullshit
the
point.
fuck?
Don't ever make that
Her
point
name's
again.
Sailor.
Can I just real quick? I'll end on this question.
UConn women's basketball team was in New York today.
Shut up!
They didn't hit me up.
JB actually says, "What's been the best part of your day today?" That's nice. Just asking about our day. Okay, Kayce hasn't had a good part.
When it
of her
stopped smelling like weed that Tico, Texas smoked.
day. It's just right in the studio. All right, guys,
The best part of my day was this coffee.
that's unnecessary roughness.